Have you ever been traveling on a trip and your GPS kind of got messed up and didn't tell you which way to go? Well, I'm going to tell a story about a GPS that got kind of messed up in a little bit. But right now, I'm just going to marvel in spring. The little leaves are budding. I'm no longer in Michigan. Here, back in Illinois, the daffodils are blooming. It's kind of brisk out today. The crocuses are blooming. It's been raining today, so the stream is filled, and I'm just having a great time with it. This is a short midweek devotion from the Littleton United Methodist Church. A few years ago, I had a group of friends that all like to ride motorcycles. And on Sunday afternoons, about once a month or so, we would all get on our motorcycles, get our wives, our friends, and travel, maybe a half dozen, maybe a dozen of us, and travel someplace for lunch. One particular time we traveled, we went clear down into southern Illinois, and then we took a ferry across the river, came up a different route, and on the way back up, our lead motorcyclist, giving us the navigator on the trip, his GPS told him of a good blacktop road that went kind of off the beaten trail and had hills and hollers and we had never seen before, that went through towns we had never seen before, and we all thought it was a good idea. So we all followed him. He followed his GPS, and the blacktop got worse and worse and smaller and smaller and narrower and finally began to turn to gravel. Well, I personally don't like riding big motorcycles on gravel roads. I haven't gone down much, a couple of times, but every time that something bad has happened, it's been on gravel. So I wasn't too thrilled, but we kind of held on and kind of gritted our teeth and followed this path, hoping this gravel road would come out on another blacktop. But it didn't. It got smaller and smaller and smaller, and finally it kind of turned into a dirt path that emptied into somebody's field. And so here on this Sunday afternoon, there were these half dozen or more motorcycles on a cross-country ride that had followed their GPS into a field someplace in the country. It wasn't our finest moment. At times, life can be kind of like that. That is, we think we know where we're going, and we think we know what's good for us, and we think we have our future planned out, and we find out later that we are headed down a dead-end road. The book of Proverbs, a wisdom book we've been using the last couple of weeks, in Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12, It says, there is a way that seems right to a man, but its end leads to death or to destruction. 2 chapters over in Proverbs chapter 16, and I think it's verse 25, pretty close to that, it says the same thing again. There is a way that seems right to a man, but the end leads to death. That's a good lesson for us. There are some dead ends. I've always heard that the vices of leadership are money, sex, and power. There are more vices out there, but those seem to be the things that we live for. We live for money. If we have a bigger, better house, bigger, better car, a higher pay, bigger, better paycheck, those are the things that we think give us status. Well, sex is a drive that's awfully strong. Many people fall. Power. I've always thought it a little ironic that we identify greed and mishandling of money, and we identify a falling morally by sex. We don't seem to have the same tight reins on power. But power is just as enticing, just as deadly, just as dangerous as the rest. So there's money, sex, power. There could be a lot of other things too. Living life on the edge for being a party. Just partying a life out, being lazy. There are so many things that can trip us up. Different addictions, our tempers, our anger. There are things that we think if we have this, we're okay. If we have this, we're headed in the right direction, but we're not. And so, remind us, a lesson for today. Proverbs says, there's a way that seems right, but it leads to destruction. Are you on the right path? If you look back over the last few days, this is Wednesday. I'm getting a late start today, so it's going to be Wednesday evening when you get this. There's Monday, Tuesday, all day Wednesday. Have you been following a path in your life that is wise, godly? Or have you been consumed dreaming about some of the things that you think will make you happy? Well, I've heard it said that sometimes we are our own worst enemies. We don't know what will really make us happy. We don't know what's for our own good. We don't live the kind of lives, we think what's for our good tonight is to lay on the couch and watch TV and eat tons of ice cream or, being sarcastic. But we don't live lives that are that healthy. Diet-wise, goal-wise, or spiritually. Well, the good news is there's still half a week to go. So let this be a little bit of a reminder to turn your thoughts on those things that are godly, that are truly profitable in the heavenly sense, and not live for those things that wear out, rust out, burn down, break down, just don't last. But live your life for things that do last and that have value. May God bless you. May God point your eyes in the right direction this week. May God take care of you through all the thick and thin. And may your goals, your dreams, be wise ones.